wondering if you could dig up some answers.
I'm game. What?
I need some info from the people who were in the... When the water pressure sections of it started to lock down, we were able to pinpoint and left me behind and they were trapping me inside. I need to know what...
Where did they need to go to fix the problem?
Near Rampart High School. Honestly, what happened to my friend Kenneth is what concerns me the most. We were close. The other three, we didn't part on the best terms. We didn't see eye to eye.
Tell me about the other 3 squad mates. What was the problem?
To be blunt, they were fucking assholes. Foster, Jess, and Trent, just horrible people, capable of horrible things.
What did they do that was so horrible?
They made a fucked up decision, okay? Kenneth and I were not cool with it, but they did it anyway. Let's just leave it at that. I'm not in the mood to get into it. Past is the fucking past. If you wander over to Rampart High, maybe you can dig something up. The gym is probably the best place to start. There was a disaster relief camp there that they were going to search. Find out if Kenneth made it. That's all I'm asking. Maybe it'll help me sleep better. Maybe not. I'll keep my ears peeled for what we need in the meantime.
Difficult to maintain a steady mind.
Our enemies are weak. They lack conviction, lack purpose. They spread nothing but lies about us. That's all they can offer. A pile of bullshit. They have no vision for the future. They are hopeless swine. All they want is to see us burn. And why is that? They envy our success. That's why. They know we are strong. They know we refuse to be swayed. They know we are united.
Floor by floor we fought. 5 bloody and costly weeks to clear the entire building. By the time our climb was through and the building was secure, our numbers were reduced to 36. 12 beautiful souls lost, but their sacrifices were not in vain. We had our home, our tower. Word of our success spread like wildfire. Every day, more and more survivors found their way to our gates, and we welcomed them with arms wide open. We had the room to grow, and we grew quickly. In those early days, we were unified, and as a result, we were prosperous. One collective mind, one collective vision. They allowed us to regain control of our lives. But as the population grew, dissent found its way into the collective and reared its ugly head at the most difficult of times. And what did we do? Did we crumble? Floor by floor we fought. By the time our numbers were but their sacrifice, word of us more and to our gate. We had the room, we were unified, and as a result, we were prosperous. One collective mind. One collective vision. They allowed us to regain control of our lives. But as the population grew, dissent found its way into the collective and reared its ugly head at the most difficult of times. And what did we do? Did we crumble? Did we change our course? No. We persevered, as we have from the beginning. We knew that our future remained bright if we stayed committed to what brought us to our tower in the first place. So let us not allow all the noise to knock us back down to the ground from the heights we have already achieved. Let us continue to climb together. We must cut loose those who burden us with their petty squabbles, their poisonous minds, and their freeloading ways. Trust in Mama when I say we are better off without them. Have I ever steered?
Oh, didn't think I'd ever see another human being again.
Is your name Kenneth?
Yeah. How do you know my name?
Casey asked me to look for you. He's alive. In the bunker. He wanted to know what happened to you and the rest of the squad.
Casey's alive, huh? That's good to hear. I didn't give him much chance, honestly. Thought he'd have blown his brains out by now, or shriveled away to nothing. Guess I underestimated him. If you make it back to him, tell him these few things for me. Tell him he's a good guy. The guilt, it's not his. Tell him to let it all go. What happened at the bunker? He needs to wipe his brain clean. Tell him Kenneth said things right. Killed Trent, Jess, and Foster. Okay? You need to write it down or something?
What do you mean, the guilt? Casey mentioned something horrible happened at the bunker. Is that what you're talking about?
Fuck it. I've got nothing to hide. We killed dozens of innocent people. Civilians trying to get into the bunker. When all the shit with the dead walking started to go down, we had orders to keep everyone out of the bunker. I don't know why. It didn't make any sense. But when it got too tense, we freaked. We mowed them down. Vietnam-style shit. Casey just stood there. Like a ghost. That fuck Foster started screaming at him to open fire with the rest of us. Later, I asked Casey if he fired. He said that he pulled the trigger because he was scared that if he didn't, we'd all turn on him, add his body to the pile. He said he aimed his gun up in the rafters of the church. I believed him. He begged me not to tell the others. He didn't trust them. But he trusted me. We were friends. Listen, my brain is getting foggy. I'm seeing shit. I don't know how many words I got left. End me. Please.
One more question, Kenneth. You said you killed your squad mates. Why?
We all deserve death for what we did, champ. They were gonna hurt Cousin Timmy, and I couldn't let them do that. I had to make sure. They were never gonna hurt no one ever again. Right, Uncle Tommy? Hey. Before you go to the bowling alley, blow my fucking brains out, yeah? That's the only way to remain human all the way to the end, right?
You there, Casey? I'm back.
Hey, tourist. Did you discover anything?
I found Kenneth.
You did? Is he still alive?
He wasn't gonna make it. He begged me to put him out of his misery. So I did.
Oh. Well, I'm sure you did what was right. Tourist. Shit. Rest in peace, Kenny. My friend. What did he tell you?
He wanted me to tell you something. You want to know what he said?
Yes, of course. What did he say?
He said you're a good guy. Not to feel guilt about what happened outside the bunker. To let the massacre go. He told me all about it. From his perspective. But I am curious about yours.
Well, if he told you what happened, why do you need to hear it from me? You know what you need to know, right? And you've told me my friend is dead, so we can move on, yeah?
I know it must be hard, Casey, to talk about it. But it's okay. Tell me what happened.
Yeah, you're right, tourist. It's not easy for me. There was a massacre. 36 people, at least. Civilians. Right at the reserve entrance. Innocent people that we should have been protecting. I should have done something to stop it, but I didn't. I stood there, a coward. And now I don't sleep. I have a nervous twitch in my right hand that gets more pronounced every day, and the guilt is like a 10-ton weight crushing my chest. Are you satisfied now?
Those are just facts, Casey. I already know the facts. What I need to know is your perspective on the whole thing. There's a reason why you can't sleep. You're twitching like a junkie and your chest feels like it's caving in.
Okay, quit badgering me, please. I'll talk. Just give me a second to gather my thoughts. It's all fucking foggy. The whole thing escalated really fast. The first bullet was Foster. I wanted to scream no, but it's like I just left my body. Everything after that moment, it's like a nightmare. Jess and Trent started firing. Jess, she was smiling. Kenneth hesitated. He looked right through me like he expected me to have his back. But I did nothing. So he started firing. After that, all I've been able to retain are weird details. Oh, the sounds. A hat. A cross. Man. Sometimes when I'm here lying, trying to sleep, I can actually feel my fingers shaking on the trigger of my rifle, even though I haven't touched the thing since the day it happened.
What do you hear when the sounds come?
The sound of terror. Please. The gunfire. My own shouts. The thump of bodies hitting the floor. This cacophony will just swell up inside my head when I least expect it. This chaos. But I can still pick out every single fucking sound. I just can't shake it.
The feel of the trigger. Did you pull it?
Yeah. I didn't want to, but I did. Basic training kicked in. Follow orders, no matter what. But I don't know if I killed anyone. I may have. The thing is, I'll never know. Maybe that's worse than actually knowing for certain that I did.
A cross? Like in a church? What's that all about?
Yeah. It's fucking strange, tourist. I see it. Real close up. Everything around it is hazy. Bullets chewing it up. Splintering the wood. It's from my church back home. The one my mom used to drag me to. You know, but that makes no sense. Well, it's just my mind fucking with me. Guilt digging in deep, I guess. fearing judgment.
You mentioned a hat. What hat?
There was this old man, shielding his wife. He had on this bright blue fishing hat, and I watched a flurry of bullets rip it right off in this spray of blood and skull. And this fucking hat, I swear to God, it's the exact same hat my uncle used to wear. And the bullets drove it into the wall, and it hung there for a second, dripping. And then it flopped onto the floor. The image, I can't get it out of my head. I'm worried it'll be there forever. And I keep thinking, was it me? Did I shoot those bullets?
You'll never know for sure, Casey.
That's exactly right, tourist. And I can't fucking deal with that.
Listen to me, Casey. Carefully. What happened outside the bunker, it's not your fault. That is clear to me. It was clear to Kenneth. You need to find a way to make it clear to yourself.
Yeah, I know. You're right, tourist. But it's not easy. Gonna take a lot of fucking work. Hey, maybe when this is all over, I can hire you to be my therapist.
I charge $300 an hour. Don't think you can afford that on National Guard money.
Yeah, probably not. Look, tourist, this little chat, it's worn me the fuck out. And I've got rewiring to do to keep from getting electrocuted next time I use this radio. Not that it really fucking matters. Doubtful I'm getting out of here alive. Without that key that has everyone riled up, this is all a waste of time. I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you later, I guess.
Casey, good news. I have the key we need.
Good news? Hell, tourist. I would classify that as fucking outstanding news. No, look, I don't want to jinx it, but... No, you know what? I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Best not to risk the jinx. Let's just forge ahead. One step at a time. Okay, so, the part to repair the final pump. Gosh, I don't have much to go on. It's weird. There's been really faint chatter about it on a few channels. It's been nothing but static for months. There's an outpost called Bastion, set up in a heavily defended duplex home. Barricades and optimal sightlines. Reclaimed currently control it. Now, the place has been a hotbed of conflict between Tower and Reclaimed for a while. From what I'm hearing, that's where it is, so be ready for a shitstorm. Good luck, and hey, keep your head on a swivel.
You made it. I didn't doubt that you would, of course, but my patience was beginning to be tested. Let's start with a formal introduction. You are the tourist, and I am Jean-Baptiste. JB for short. There now, we can proceed to matters of more profound consequence. It is my understanding that this gizmo here would be of use to you. It's all yours. Consider it a gift. And when we are finished with our conversation, I will provide you with the missing dial that you'll need to operate it. Sound fair?
Sounds fair.
Terrific. Now, I prefer to play it straight. Once I received word that you were collecting these devices, and to what purpose, I saw an opportunity to connect with the city's most illustrious survivor and have a chat about the reserve. So I made it a priority to acquire one, through various means I will not divulge. And now here you are. It is my hope when I am through, you will see the reserve for what it is. Nothing more than a crutch, holding back the people of this fine city from regaining themselves.
You're a cocky bastard, JB.
Not cocky, convicted. But I also know how to humble myself when dealing with someone as formidable as you. So my apologies if my demeanor seems brash. I'm a man of particular predilections.
Don't worry about it. Say what you have to say.
I am a firm believer in the greatness of humankind, our ingenuity, our art, our towering scientific achievements. This reserve nonsense, even if the rumors about what may be inside it exceed our wildest dreams. My space, my rules, back off.
About that?
I am a firm believer in the greatness of humankind, our ingenuity, our art, our towering scientific achievements. This reserve nonsense, even if the rumors about what may be inside it exceed our wildest dreams, the bounty will only prolong our addiction to survivalism as the only path in life. It will stifle our creativity. It will eventually lead to our withering doom. Now, this is the proposal that I have for you. Continue your search for the reserve, and when you unearth it, which I have the utmost confidence you will, destroy it. These 4 numbers will disable the entire flood contingency system. Mother Nature will rage through the reserve and take care of the rest. 1006. Flood the reserve and set us all free. Give this still glorious city the jump start it needs to refocus on something much grander than mere survival. Grant us hope, tourist. And thank you, most sincerely, for hearing me out. And let's keep this chat between us, if that's all right. I'm not sure my comrades would see the big picture benefits of removing the reserve from the equation. The floor's now yours, my friend. Anything on a threat like this seems beneath you.
I'm ready to listen.
1006. Flood the reserve and set us all free. Give this still glorious city the jump start it needs to refocus on something much grander than mere survival. Grant us hope, tourist. And thank you, most sincerely, for hearing me out. And let's keep this chat between us, if that's all right. I'm not sure my comrades would see the big picture benefits of removing the reserve from the equation. The floor's now yours, my friend. Anything on your mind that requires clarity?
I want your perspective on the reserve.
Uh-huh.
How did you find this code to flood the reserve?
One of my scouts came across the corpse of a National Guardsman in Rampart High School. The body had a manual for a bunker's flood defense system. I put 2 and 2 together.
If the rumors about what's inside the reserve are true, wouldn't it benefit the Reclaim to get your hands on it?
You are absolutely correct. But once those supplies are gone, then what? The same old fruitless pursuits. And there is the very distinct possibility that the tower gets to it before we do. The only way to guarantee this city will move forward in the proper direction is to remove the reserve from the equation entirely.
Why choose me to destroy the reserve?
Because you're the one best equipped to find the accursed place, and I trust you will do the right thing when you do. Call it a hunch.
I have some other questions for you, JB. I'm curious about the Reclaimed.
Yes?
What's with the gory rituals?
First one was a man I knew well in my brief tenure as a tower grunt. I'd even called him a friend. Tripp was his name. Snuck up on me in the middle of sleep. Tried to slit my throat. Still carry the scar. Well, long story short, Tripp was no match for me. I maimed him. Something awful, really. And I dragged his body about a mile all the way to the southern bump, which at the time was the most highly trafficked exit from the tower. I found an old oak, hung him upside down from it so his lifeblood would spill rapidly into the soil, and upon his chest I pinned a note that read, "Keep 'em coming." And just like that, I became the most feared boogeyman Nola has seen since the Axeman. Once I had fear on my side, the rest just blossomed naturally. Those with nowhere else to go wanted what I had, so they listened. And they learned. I empowered them. That's all people want. A sense that their lives still have some meaning.
The Reclaimed have made quite a mark on the city. How did the movement get started?
After my exile from the tower for insubordination, I took to raiding their supply lines. Rather efficiently, I might add. No one ever got hurt, and other exiles clamored to join my operations. Needless to say, Mama and her cohorts were not pleased with my exploits, and they sent several communications asking me to cease my pillaging or there'd be consequences. Of course, I refused, politely. No one was going to dictate the terms of my existence anymore. But it wasn't until the tower started sending thugs out to track me down and end me that I decided it was time to send a message of my own.
I've heard snippets about the Reclaimed philosophy, but it would be enlightening to hear it from you.
It's simple, really. We want to live purposeful lives, reclaim the world and our humanity along with it. Mere survival is so petty. It's beneath us, forcing people to focus solely on survival. It's cruel, really. I believe we must invest in a future of our own design. Life is not worth living otherwise.
I have some other questions for you, JB. I've heard enough.
Fair enough. Then we are finished here. The dial, as promised. Godspeed, tourist. You don't actually think you can intimidate me with violence, do you?
a much better place without that loudmouth JB
We finally
blabbering over
meet,
the
tourist.
airwaves.
After
Thanks for
all the
taking
hype,
him
you're
out,
not exactly
tourist.
what I expected. I'm Georgia. Maybe you've heard of me, maybe not. I could give two shits. What does concern me is the man inside the building you just stepped out of. We tracked him here. Heard the commotion upstairs. Did you kill that fool?
You won't have to worry about JB and his yammering anymore.
The tide has fucking turned. Thanks for doing what needed to be done. From this point on, just keep steering clear of the tower, and there won't be any issues between you and me. I'm not a fan of issues, in case you couldn't tell. And when this shit with the reserve pops, I'll make sure tower troops have orders to steer clear of you.
Think murdering exiles is what got you in with the tower? Think again.
If you enjoy living, you'll put the weapon down.
The walls need work. North side has a fucking hole in it.
I don't even like the way you walk.
Gonna hurt you if you keep...
Freeloaders out, but killing exiles? That's a different story.
I'd be dead already if it wasn't for the tower.
I'm back, Casey. Ready to repair the pump. You still alive?
Yeah, alive, but almost swimming. No turning back after this, tourist. We have to get after it. I'm running out of time. You prepared?
I have to step away for a minute.
Okay, I'll be here.